shows, very few of them become successful. Obviously, the number one most listened to talk radio show in the country is the Rush Limbaugh Show. Second, I believe, is the Dr. Laura program. And there's been some mild success. You know, people syndicate, they get 100 stations here, 150 stations. Sometimes they charge big money for these programs, and the goal is not to get a lot of stations. But something incredible has happened in overnight talk radio, and that is the Art Bell Show. And Art Bell now joins us in studio. How many stations are you on now, Art?
You know, day to day, I'm not sure, but it's about 486, just short of 500 somewhere.
All right, so you're up in Rush Laura land up there with all these stations, and you started out in the desert of Nevada at a station.
I'm still there.
You're still there, but you started at KDAWN.
KDAWN,
overnight, and I remember listening to you some late nights, and I remember picking you up a long time ago. I lived in Santa Barbara for a short time. You were on back a while ago.
You think I do a long show now? Then I did actually 6 hours every night, 6 days a week.
That is a tremendous burden on any talk host.
I harden to it.
You do talk radio unlike anybody else in this business. You are not issue-oriented. Years ago, you used to be more issue-oriented.
Well, that's right. I don't concentrate on issues, but I still am perfectly willing to engage them. For example, with you any moment now.
No, I'm heading into your territory today, which is a little bit different than what I do. But let's walk through this story. You started out at this 150,000-watt blowtorch on the west coast of this country, and you built it into this 500-station.
What happened is the radio station where I was, KWN, could not support. We went into syndication, and we decided that, you see, I was going on the air at 1 o'clock in the morning there, and that equates to about 4 a.m. Eastern time, and you cannot begin an overnight show at 4 o'clock in the morning. That doesn't work.
That's tough.
By then, everybody's going into their good morning just before good morning shows, right? So we had to start earlier. They couldn't accommodate that. They were prepared to take me to another hotel in Las Vegas, and I said, no, wait a minute. I'm commuting 120 miles a day. How about a studio at home?
Now, I will hope Phil Boyce, our program director here at WABC, is listening. This is my dream. See, all you syndicated guys, you get all these big benefits and bonuses. Now, I'd love to have a studio at home. But anyway, so you built the studios at your house.
Be careful what you dream for. Now, at first, anybody would think, heaven, a studio at home. And in a lot of ways, it is, but everybody knows where to find you.
Yeah, but Art, I know something about your studio that you don't know that I know.
What's that?
You have a big racquetball court that you built at your studio.
I do. My wife and I, when we lived in Las Vegas, fell in love with racquetball. So I built a full-size racquetball court. And to the people who come by, it looks like some sort of compound.
Well, now, all right, so when did you first syndicate? What was the year?
I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. And in that short a period of time, you took over nighttime radio.
Like a rocket.
Like a rocket. Did you have any idea you'd become this successful?
No. And I think that if you start out with that thought, you're almost inevitably going to fail. I just did what I wanted to do, had fun, and it followed. I think that's the only way it can happen.
Well, that's the Rush story, really. I mean, he didn't change. He got fired 7 times, and look what happened to him. All right, now, so you build this big empire here, and you had always sort of flirted with topics that were not traditional to talk radio.
That's right. I still flirt with them. Well, I love them.
You're not more than flirt with them. I mean, you're married to them. I mean, this is your signature.
That's right.
You talk about aliens.
That's right.
You talk about demon possession.
Indeed.
You talk about the afterlife.
Absolutely.
You talk about quantum physics.
Yes.
This is not standard fare for talk radio.
That's why it's working.
Because it's so different.
I don't think that it would work during the day. I don't think you could greet people in the morning with that kind of stuff. But when I'm alive at night, when it's dark out, when people's imaginations are able to take off, then it works.
Is your rhythm off right now? Is this awkward for you to do a show like this?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, you and I have developed a little bit of a friendship or an acquaintance over the years, and I respect your work a lot. But it's awkward. Your rhythm is
totally off
for you.
Absolutely. Normally, let's see, at this time of day, I would be winding down, getting ready to take a nap. I sleep twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon before the show.
How many hours each session?
2 or 3 in the morning, and then another couple in the afternoon.
Alan Corbett used the phrase, and another guy that you know, Bob Just, would define what you do as capturing the rhythm of the night. So you're saying what you do at night, you could not do during the day.
You could do it. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Why?
Not a chance. I don't know. Night people are different people. They have more time. The phones aren't ringing. Things aren't buzzing around you. It's just a different kind of atmosphere when you have a time to contemplate esoteric subjects that you wouldn't even begin to think about during the day. Like, here comes the plug, our new book, and this really is important stuff. It's called The Coming Global Superstorm, and listen, look out your window today here in New York. There should be snow, it should be cold, the wind should be blowing, it should be cascading through the buildings, and people should be hunkering down, and my God, it's 50, 60 degrees out there today? Hello, something's wrong here. And what's wrong is our weather is changing. People will say, well, you're going to scare people with this book, and we are going to scare them. Probably not enough. Since June, about 50,000 people have died because of the weather. A couple of weeks ago, now, brace yourself, 300 million trees blew down in France alone. A third of all the trees in France blew down.
Scary.
140-mile-an-hour winds in Germany. That's equivalent to a Category 4, a strong Category 4 hurricane here. The weather is changing, and if we don't do something, and I'm not convinced that we can, we're facing a very catastrophic situation. So
now, a lot of people, you did a special, you talked a lot about Y2K.
Yes.
Y2K, nothing happened.
Well, do you own a home?
I own a home.
You own a home.
Yeah.
Do you pay insurance?
I pay insurance.
When your home doesn't burn down, do you feel like you have egg on your face?
No. I'm not being critical. I'm not being critical.
I'm just trying to say that those who prepared.
I interviewed people that thought that this was going to be a disaster, and I read WorldNet Daily every day.
It could have been.
And I was concerned, especially I followed this for a year, and I was very concerned that the possibility was there. Look, you know why I was concerned? Because our own government had preparations, the likes of which we had never seen before, including building their own bunkers,
That's right.
stockpiling food,
Right. So
water,
they weren't
and
sure.
weapons.
They
weren't sure.
They didn't know. That's right. They had no idea.
No, I'm not being critical. I don't want you to take that the wrong way.
Go ahead and be critical.
Oh, I'm not. That's not what I was doing.
I was hoping you would.
You want me to be?
Sure.
All right.
Go for it.
No, I really don't have any criticism. I'll make it up if you want.
The world spent about $250 billion preparing for Y2K. And if somebody had not scared the hell out of them, our worst fears would have been realized.
Listen, you know what I was most concerned about with Y2K? First of all, there were 30,000 nuclear weapons that the former Soviet Union had. Most of them were pointed in our direction. Mm-hmm. They can't account for all those nuclear weapons. Now, if they can't account for them, did they bring them, were the computers that were running them Y2K compliant? Was there a possibility of one of these weapons, firing out of their silo at one major United States city? That scared me a little bit.
Of course it's possible. It was possible, and they had a hotline, so that wouldn't occur. It didn't occur. People paid attention. Toward the end, they finally really seriously began to pay attention, and we averted our problems. I'm looking around here. I see about 1,000 computers in this studio. They all look like they're working to me.
Yeah, and besides the mess I have in front of me, I'll clean it in the next break. Now,
see, I don't get that. For example, I see callers on the line here. Tell Art Bell we are not in a new millennium. Hello, wake up out there. We are in a new millennium. Not technically, I understand that, but check out the celebrations we went through. I saw them too. 2000 is here. The
new millennium.
Technologists are not going to like it. I know the argument, and they lose.
You know, some of the best shows you ever did, and this is something that worked actually for me on daytime radio, and I'm much more politically oriented than you are. Mm-hmm. I used to love to interview Father Malachi Martin.
Oh.
And I think some of the best shows I've ever heard on radio were not my interviews with him, but yours.
I loved Father Martin.
Didn't he stay with you one night for 5 hours or 4 hours or something?
He stayed with me for 5 hours on probably 4 or 5 occasions.
Yeah, terrific. He recently passed away, and he's a former Catholic priest, and he used to be involved in exorcism.
That's right.
And one of the things that I enjoy when I hear your show is when you talk about the struggle and the human spirit and this battle of good and evil, because I believe it's a real battle.
Father Martin used to say something that I think you could walk down the streets of any city, certainly here in New York, and tell. He would say there are many perfectly possessed people.
That's what he said.
Perfectly possessed. And what that means is they have long since made their deal with the devil, and they're comfortable with it. They know what they've done.
There's no more conflict.
And when you pass them on the street, he would say you could look into their eyes and you could know them when you'd know them when you'd see them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He said that to me.
And
but he did not about me. He said just the opposite. He said he saw light in me. That's what he saw me.
Light in you.
That's what he said. He did. All right, I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a break? We have these wonderful callers here. And now you will be having a book signing. You're in New York for that. I'm going to try and...
Oh, yeah, I should plug that tonight.
Why don't you plug your book
Barnes
signing?
& Noble, Rockefeller Center.
When? Barnes &...
12:30.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow afternoon, 12:30.
When are you
Lunchtime.
doing the Today Show?
Tomorrow morning at about 7:48 or 50 or
just
something.
Preparation H. You put it under your eyes and it takes the swelling out. Also, what's this battle with Curtis Sliwa? Can I bring Curtis in here for 5 minutes?
You want to bring Curtis in?
I do want to bring Curtis in.
I have already defiled his beret. I'm not kidding.
You know, it's madness. I drive home, and this never stops with you. I will bring him in for 5 minutes, and then we'll try and get in as many calls from many of Art Bell's fans when we come back. Our toll-free number is 1-800. Our lines are out. We're using Russia's lines. 800-282-2882.
All right, I'm told I should correct something. Barnes & Noble, the book signing actually is Barnes & Noble, not tomorrow. Rockefeller Center, 12:30, Wednesday.
Good.
Wednesday, not tomorrow.
Now, then I'll also try and talk him into doing my TV show while he's here. But that's coming up during the break. 5:17, 47 degrees, rainy and cloudy in Midtown Manhattan. Temperatures, maybe Art can comment on this. It's going to be warm all week, Art.
What's the forecast for tomorrow?
49. 45 on Wednesday, 46 on Thursday. Temperatures dropping on Friday, 39.
All of 39 now.
In the middle of January. Can you believe it? All right, we'll take a...
Yes, I believe it.
Look at traffic. Heather O'Rourke standing by. Heather?
Hello.
Hello. No special traffic today because Art Bell is here.
Oh, darn.
You know, the breaks you get.
Meadowbrook, northbound. It's closed just after exit M6, which is the Southern State. Tractor-trailer struck an overpass. We have some debris across the parkway as a result. East side of town, FDR Drive, closed. Southbound at the Williamsburg Bridge, there's some debris falling from the Williamsburg Bridge construction project. Eastbound 46, closed around Lexington Avenue in Clifton because of flooding. Outbound Lincoln, 10. Holland, 15 to 20. Inbound Lincoln, your heaviest 10 minutes. Queens Midtown Tunnel outbound, accident with injuries, 1 lane closed down. Earlier accident cleared, Triborough Bridge into Queens off the Grand Central Parkway. That one was cleared away. Going to the airport, make sure you call ahead. We do have delays reported. This report is brought to you by 6th Avenue Electronics. With the holidays over with, if you didn't get it, now's the time to get what you really want. 6th Avenue Electronics has it in stock with 6 convenient locations throughout New Jersey. Stop in and experience the difference at 6th Avenue. I'm Heather O'Rourke on 77 WABC.
Thank you, Heather. This portion of the Sean Hannity Show on 77 WABC brought to you by Perillo Tours, masters of affordable first-class vacations to Italy, Hawaii, and Israel.
Sean Hannity, News Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Oh, this is a treat. I can't believe it. This war has been going on for a long, long time. 524. Thank you for being with us. News Talk Radio 77 WABC. We're honored, privileged, and it's our pleasure to have in studio Art Bell, nationally syndicated host, 500 stations. You do not do many radio interviews like this.
I do almost no radio.
Yeah, so this is a big deal. I've been just trying to, talk to him about some other issues. Curtis the Rock Sliwa, who is in studio here. There has been this war going on. How long has this been going on? Now, Art, you took one of Curtis's hours at night. Curtis used to be on from 10 at night till 2 in the morning.
He tells stories about that. I did not take that hour. That hour was given to me freely.
Let me explain the situation. Art Bell, Promise Keeper Program Director Phil Boyce, came to me and said, for the good of the station, I'm going to bring Art Bell on the overnight.
See?
And having listened to you
it was given to me, I told you.
Yeah, but having listened to you out on the West Coast, I said, well, that might be a good programming idea. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that from 2 to 5, you then inched up. And you Pearl Harbored me. You backstabbed me. You took that extra hour. I thought you were going to be like my Kumbara chief because I rolled out the red carpet for you with our many listeners here from 38 states and parts of Canada. And then all of a sudden, behind my back, with chicanery, with malice, you took that hour.
I didn't even know what happened. It just happened. It's one of those things that happened, Chris.
Well, a lot of times in this business, though, ratings is the determining factor.
Now, wait a second, Sean. Whose side are you on here?
I honestly don't know. The ratings gone up.
There's
the ratings
two things
down,
in radio. There's two things. There's money. There's
Curtis,
ratings.
What is it,
That's
Curtis?
it.
Why,
That's
I'm
the end
asking.
of it.
Well, I'm telling you why. Because he's part of this grand multinational corporation called Premier Radio. They carry Dr. Laura. They carry Rush. And you know what they did?
What'd they do?
They said, either you give us another hour of Art Bell on the #1 news talk station in the nation, or maybe the next time around contractually, there'll be no more Rush. There'll be no more Dr. Laura. This is like getting...
This is capitalism. You understand capitalism.
I understand, but come on, Art. I paved the way for you. I didn't take sort of an anonymous position. Well, I don't know who this Art Bell is.
I appreciate that, but how many hours do you have on the radio now? You've already got more hours than anybody could use. More than you can probably do most of the time.
That's probably a good point, Curtis.
Sean, whose side are you on here? But worse yet, over time, as he developed more and more listeners and became the #1 overnight listened to program, not just here on the East Coast, but throughout America, I started getting calls from people listening to Art Bell, claiming that they had gone in and took their money out of the bank and purchased dirt from Nevada and gold shares and buying the Permapack and the Beijing radios. And by golly, these horror stories were so coming at me so fast and furiously. I felt I had to develop the Art Bell Recovery Line Center for those who would become Bellaholics.
You know, I called that number, by the way, and I put it on the air. I put that message on the air. I thought it was such a riot. I've got something. One of the giant corporate premier executives just handed me something, and rather than my reading it, I'd like you to read it. You can read, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay, read that.
You've been #1 for 39 of the last 52 weeks in the New York area.
No, it doesn't say Curtis, you've been #1, does it?
No, it doesn't. But, let me explain
Let me
that.
jump in on behalf of my brother in solidarity. Curtis is your #1 lead-in.
Well, he is. Yeah, I know he is. Actually, he is. It's time that all of this ended.
I can't, Art. We have demonstrations scheduled outside of the Today Show. I know
You're really going to be there.
Yes.
Now, I've been thinking about this, and you've been saying that you're going to bring a lot of people with signs calling me the Antichrist, and you're going to have this in front of the Today Show.
Yes.
Out there where the line is and so forth. And
Holding up the comes
right?
out, right.
That's going to make me look stupid. And I sat there and I thought about it. I'm going to be inside talking about the kind of weather we're having in New York and worldwide right now. And you're going to be out there holding signs saying Art Bell's the Antichrist. Who's going to look stupid? Let's examine this picture.
No, I can't call it off. This is important that the rest of the nation understand.
Curtis, he's just called the truce, though, Curtis.
Yeah, but I can't.
Well, I put out my hand.
Why can't you? He put out your hand. He's stretching his hand as I speak.
I cannot. He is the Antichrist of talk radio. I cannot shake that hand.
Why is he the Antichrist?
Because you don't understand the addictive qualities of his radio program. People will tune in at 1 o'clock and will listen for the full 4 hours. They can't get enough. They tape his program. They play it
But that helps our
endlessly.
lead-in for our morning show.
It doesn't matter. I need to go out and help them, tend to them.
Maybe he's worried that people that are addicted and do tune in fall asleep about the time he comes on in the morning. Could that be?
Well, he's not on in the morning.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, let me ask you this. Some of the topics that you deal with on your program, aliens, do you believe that there are aliens from other planets on this Earth?
If you have had what I have had occur to me and occur to my wife who's in the studio right now, and that is a triangular object silently coming above you at about 150 feet, there are one of two things true. Either we have anti-gravity technology,
right,
or there are aliens. Take your choice. Either way, it's a big story.
When did this happen to you?
Well, I don't know. This was 3 or 4 years ago. I just had 2 policemen on the air the other day who had exactly the same kind of craft come over their head, and they chased it. Lights and sirens going, the whole thing.
You're saying a triangular...
State of Illinois. Triangular craft. About 150 feet.
In the desert?
Doing about 30 miles an hour.
I think that was Curtis and his Angels. But...
No.
I'm serious about this.
No, you really have. I know you are.
Although, Art, I must take you to task. You say you broadcast from a very humble abode there in the desert there, Pahrump, Nevada. I have it on good information that you
have nothing.
You are on the 27th floor of Bally's International Hotel, right there on the Strip of Las Vegas.
Up. This is
not at all.
This is New York smog.
Soon you'll be a recluse up there. You'll be...
I'm already a recluse there. But it's at home. It's my own studio. I've got webcams. I've got proof.
I ask all the gamblers, everyone who takes those flights to Las Vegas endlessly, see if you can get up to the 27th floor of the Bally's International Hotel.
And so who's come back and said there he is?
Oh, many people.
Oh.
I'm telling you, Art, you can't deny this.
Of course I can.
Let's get to the heart of the matter, though. What is your big complaint? So people are addicted to the Art Bell Show. What is it about his message or the topics that he is dealing with that is so
John,
agitating
do you realize
Let's
how much...
examine who's really crazy here. Let's examine for a second who's really crazy. I tuned in one night on Real Audio, WABC, and what do I hear? I hear two priests with Curtis exorcising me, with people calling in, getting exorcised from listening to Art Bell. Now let's see who's really crazy.
We had to perform an exorcism. There were many listeners here. Let me explain to you, Art. We had Denise, a mother with 2 children from Staten Island who couldn't sleep at night, couldn't take care of her children.
I heard the call. You damn near put her in tears.
We had to, through an exorcism, literally get that spirit out of her, because all she was mumbling all day long was, Art Bell, I've got to listen to Art Bell. She was literally buying the water, the Permapack supplies, the Beijing radio, even the President of the United States. Do you know on his visit to Chappaqua, the very first thing he said was that he had purchased a Beijing wind-em-up radio.
Beijing is in China. The Beijing radio. Beijing radio.
It's probably
That's
made
the name
by
of the
the
radio.
Chinese. They're Chinese, not our Chinese in Taiwan.
Made in South Africa, Curtis.
God, I must continue on this crusade. Until we can... Are you prepared to buy back all those supplies that poor elderly people and others purchase thinking that...
Well, I
they
ask
would
you
be
the same thing I
Y2K?
asked Sean. Do you actually own a home or even rent an apartment here in New York?
Do I?
No, he sleeps in his cubicle over here.
Why? That's why I'm qualifying it. Do you?
Yes, in a
you do.
He does.
And you no doubt drive a car?
No, I don't.
You don't drive a
Take
car?
the subway.
He has the guardian
The
angel.
subway, that's right. But you've got you pay some sort of insurance. You've probably got health insurance, right?
They won't give me health insurance after I got shot up 5 times.
The point is...
You have after health insurance.
I think.
After health. Anyway, the point is, if you have prepared, if you have a generator, that's going a little far. I've got one. I did it. I walked the walk. I've got food supplies. I've got all the rest of it. Look, don't give them up, and I'm being serious with everybody out there for a moment. If you have prepared, don't give up your preparations. If you're out of debt a little bit more than you were, don't get back in debt. Don't assume everything is all right. There are changes coming in the coming
You really
decade.
think that then now we're on a serious note, and we'll get back to Curtis. You really think...
Thank you.
No, I didn't mean anything by it. Curtis is my brother in solidarity. We're buddies. But you really think that there's going to be great
brainwashed
calamity in America?
No, there's going to be a great calamity in the world.
You think... I mean, are we talking about Armageddon? Are we talking about the end of the world? Are we talking about death and dying?
No,
and misery?
we're talking about something that's happened in the world before. For example, in Siberia, they continue to find woolly mammoths with green leaves in their mouths and undigested in their bellies. That means that was at the very least a temperate climate, possibly better, and instantly, or fairly instantly enough to freeze that in their bellies, they died and were frozen in ice now. That has happened before. It will happen again.
Does this prove that he is a loony kazoonie? Does this prove it? I don't have to say anything. Just let the man talk on and on.
We'll take a break. We're going to go to the phones when we come back. Curtis will stay with us. Art Bell is in studio. We will, I don't think we've ever pushed aside trashing the lines, but today, because Art's here, we'll trash the lines for an extra long period of time tomorrow. We'll take a break. Continue. Your call's coming up on 77 WABC.
Strap in, power up, and log on. If you've ever dreamt of the day that your business could get its own high-velocity internet connection, wake up. That day is here. Ultracom has your company's full-time connection at speeds over 10 times ISDN at much less than you'd expect to pay. It's called Ultra DSL, and it's available now from Ultracom.
Come on.
On a typical internet hookup, logging on means taking a short coffee break before you even connect. Welcome.
Finally.
With Ultra DSL, you'll have to get your breaks in on your own time. There is no dial-up. You're on all the time. Welcome. Page and load in the blink of an eye. Files download at supersonic speed. You spend less time waiting and more time working. And right now, if you'd like to really impress, let the boss know that Ultracom is offering free installation and free equipment. That'll save over $900. Ultra DSL. Available now for your business from Ultracom. The question isn't where do you want to go today? The question is, how fast do you want to get there? Call now to find out more about Ultra DSL from Ultracom. 1-888-ULTRA-95 or visit their website at www.ultradsl.com.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, that's all right.
Why don't you take a look at this?
Let's see.
Oh, is something wrong?
Are you sure this is the best rate you can get me on this house?
Well, we are professionals here.
Yes, but is it the best rate?
I looked at a lot of banks.
Define a lot.
Well, I don't want to get into specifics.
Humor me.
Close to 10.
How close to 10?
Very close.
8?
Would you like a cup of coffee or something?
No. 8?
3 to 5.
5?
Nearly.
4?
3.
I'm out of here.
Mom, come back.
Next time, get more lenders and lower rates with eLoan. We scour the planet to find you a great rate.
E-loan. For a car or a home, a better way to get a loan. Call 1-888-ELOAN-22 or visit us at ELOAN.com.
Mom, can I still drop off my laundry?
E-loan is an equal housing lender and not currently licensed in every state. This advertisement should not be construed as a solicitation of loans in any state in which E-loan is not licensed. Please check our website for a current list of licenses.
Hey, it's the Stanginator here of the Sean Hannity Show for my good friend Dr. Ken Modell at the New York Eye Specialist right here in Manhattan. You know, when I first decided that I wanted laser vision correction procedure, I knew I had to make an important decision as to which doctor would be correcting my vision. You know, like you probably have, I know I've heard a million different radio spots for a million different doctors, each with a million promises. They all claim to be the first, the cheapest, the best, the brightest, blah, blah, blah. A few people here at the station had theirs done with Dr. Ken Modell at the New York Eye Specialist, and they spoke so highly of him, I decided to go in myself for a consultation. Now, Dr. Modell, let me tell you about this guy. He came in, he shook my hand, he looked me in the eye, and he took a good hour to answer every single question I had. He completely put my mind at ease, and I'm so glad I trusted my instincts and had my vision corrected permanently with Dr. Ken Modell. No more glasses, no more contacts, ever. Call Dr. Modell right now. Ask him about the simple 15-minute procedure that will improve your life drastically. 212-75-CLEAR. 212-75-CLEAR. The New York Eye Specialist.
WABC. I'm a research scientist, so when I got arthritis, I did some research. What did I find? I found capsaicin P. It's a topical pain reliever with the ingredient that doctors recommend most. And the data shows that the ingredient in capsaicin P attacks arthritis pain fast. And the longer you use it, the greater the relief. In fact, with everyday use, you can reach a maximum level of relief in just 2 weeks. The research raised my interest. Capsaicin P raised my level of relief.
Also available in extra strength capsaicin HP. Use only as directed.
Want to know what your credit report looks like? You can run a credit check on yourself for free by logging on to freecreditreport.com.
I found an inaccuracy that could have cost me an approval and disputed it.
My credit report from freecreditreport.com showed me an open account I'd forgotten about. Just call 1-800-220-2626 or log on to www.freecreditreport.com. Just call 1-800-220-2626 or www.freecreditreport.com.
The Hurricane will blow you away, raves Entertainment Weekly. An astonishing performance by Denzel Washington, says the New York Times.
I believe that having seen the truth, he can't turn his back on me.
And USA Today calls it a dramatic knockout. Golden Globe nominee for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor, Denzel Washington.
He put me in prison. Love's gonna bust me out.
The Hurricane from Universal Pictures. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent. Now playing.
And also from Universal Pictures.
Hello, I am Andy.
Critics are raving about Man on the Moon. Entertainment Weekly calls it the best film of the year. Jim Carrey is remarkable, raves Premiere Magazine.
Thank you very much.
A truly amazing performance. 2 thumbs way up. Man on the Moon, Golden Globe nominee for Best Picture and Best Actor Jim Carrey.
Hey, are you Andy Kaufman?
I get that all the time.
Man on the Moon from Universal Pictures. Rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent, now playing.
All right, 5:38, 22 now before 6. Thank you for being with us. News Talk Radio 77 WABC. I am doing everything. I'm not even talking to Art about doing TV. I'm trying to go right to the power source of this relationship, and his wife Ramona's here. And now, do you sit with him every night?
Practically.
Get to you're up all night. We'll put you right up there. And
Is this necessary?
And people can watch you online because you have a live cam now in the studio. I don't know.
Oh, God help me, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had that for years now.
Yeah. I didn't know. Well, that's terrific. And you're going to be on the Today Show tomorrow with Katie Couric and Matt Lauer. Who's
That's
doing
right.
the interview?
I think Matt Lauer's doing
Matt
the
Lauer's
interview,
doing it?
actually.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
Mhm.
And then you're going to have a book signing on Wednesday at Barnes & Noble at Rockefeller Plaza.
12:30 in the
All right.
afternoon, lunchtime.
And this is your new book that's out.
Yes, and it's a very serious book.
Okay. All right. Now, Curtis is here with us. And
He's not serious at all.
Okay.
But I will be protesting outside both events.
You will be there.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble's Wednesday, 12:30.
You're really going to
you're gonna come to the book signing too?
And Art, why are they giving you that softball pretty boy interviewer Matt Lauer, that deadhead? Why not some substance? Why not somebody like Katie Couric, someone who's going to ask you some
there's
tough
a real
questions?
there's a real tough substance.
Yeah, there's somebody who'll roll right over you.
All right, let's go to some phones. Art, you got your fans here, and if I don't get some calls in, then Curtis, you stick around too, because I have a funny feeling you're going to be chastised. Kathy in Woodbridge is probably your #1 fan. Hello, Kathy.
It's about time, you.
Well, you're lucky
Happy New Year.
I let you call in twice in one day just because you love Art so much.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to have to hold on for 2 hours. It's so strange. You know, an art show, there's no such thing as a screener. You have free will there at the phone.
That's right, Kathy.
Does she get through to your show? Have you gotten through to Art's show?
Oh, are you kidding?
Oh, sure she has.
Welcome, visitor, to our time zone. How does it feel? How does New York look?
New York looks like one of the chapters in my book right now, Kathy. I mean, this is January.
What's the title?
The coming global superstar.
No, the chapter.
You know, Art, I just went out to the porch of my double-wide mobile home. Sound familiar? And I looked at the rose bushes, which are half off because each season we get more wind and more tornadoes. And I just figured out something. I'm not in Kansas. I'm in New Jersey.
That's right.
And the whole week is going to be warm. And the trend for the last 4 years has been this way.
It's going to be even warmer tomorrow.
Listen, I'm praying for snow. I like to ski. I hate to rain on your guys' parade here.
Storms get worse, more violent. I think it was in Washington yesterday. There were winds sustaining 93 miles an hour.
That's right.
You know, then what really aggravates me, you're going to be soft-shelling it tomorrow with, the NBC crowd, the local weathermen, the people who smile and go, isn't it lovely, this wonderful 60-degree weather with a smile on their face?
But this is cyclical. Look, I remember the first Earth Day, Kathy, and they had signs up saying the new ice age is coming. Now it's global warming.
No, the new ice age is coming, and it'll be because of global warming.
Sean, with this comes an
what do I know? But now, what do you think of the battle between Curtis and Art?
Well, does Art realize that I was the second woman? Did you stay tuned and listen to the second woman who was exorcist? I had Curtis on like nobody's business. I put him on, Art. I can send you the tape of me being exercised.
Kathy, I heard it.
Hour.
I heard it, Kathy.
It was fabulous.
It was.
Okay?
You stood right up.
You better believe it.
Well, in fact, in honor of your once-in-a-lifetime appearance here in New York, our city,
your hat, Curtis.
Tonight at 11 o'clock, we have a special edition of the C-Files. These are former guests of yours who are appearing on with me to explain how they became Bellaholics and how we've recovered them.
Thank you, Kathy. We appreciate it. Always
Love
good
you,
to hear
Art.
from you.
Thanks, Kath.
Bye-bye. We now go, let's see, Sean in Queens on WABC with Art Bell and Curtis Lewa. Hello.
Hi, Sean.
How are you, Art?
Oh, just fine.
This is the only way I could get a hold of you, being in the 5 boroughs.
Here I am,
if
finally.
it came down to it, Art, in a mano-a-mano battle, could you, a former New Yorker yourself, take Curtis in an Armageddon battle of your own?
Sure I could. I'm looking at him now. The guy's soft.
Your show, Art, is that you don't screen the calls, and too many times you have people from all over small-town America rambling on incoherently, and you got to be the most patient personality in America.
I thought I was the most patient personality.
Last week was awesome.
That's what the middle of the night does for you. You get patient. You listen to people.
We even put John Hogue on our TV show for our Millennium Special. We wanted to have Art on, but he's not. Ramon is working out a TV interview.
Art, are you a libertarian as far as psychedelic drugs?
Yeah, I'm being a libertarian means being a libertarian. So apply it to anything you want to talk about. I'm a libertarian. Yeah.
All right, Sean. Thank you. We got to get some more calls in. Ron in Queens on WABC with Art Bell and Curtis Lewa. Hello.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hi.
Art, my questions go directly to you, and I'll try and fire them off as rapidly as I can.
All right.
First question, many years ago, my dad supervised a gentleman by the name of Gerald Crew. You familiar with that name?
No, I am not.
Took the plaster of Paris footprints of the Sasquatch in 1958, the first, I believe, ever taken.
Now I'm familiar.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder what happened to him. My father used to know him back in the early 70s. Has he ever been on your show?
No, I've never had him on, but I'm very familiar with the cast of the footprints you're talking about.
Okay, second question. Duncan Cameron, Al Bielak, they're on public television here in New York.
Al Bielak, yes.
Okay, what is your opinion of their credibility with reference to the Philadelphia story, Philadelphia experiment?
Actually, I think when you listen to Al Bielek tell his story, if you're a technical kind of person, a lot of what he says holds up. Really, it does. Technically, it holds up. So something happened there.
I think you lost 98% of our audience, but go ahead.
No. Al Bielek is somebody who claims to have participated in the Philadelphia experiment, an experiment to make a ship invisible.
Okay, next question. Fellow that used to do your type of radio many, many years ago in the late 70s from a Long Island radio station, FM station, Joe Martin. Are you familiar with him, and have you ever interviewed him?
I know the name, and no, I have not interviewed him.
Okay.
That's enough for one day. Thank you. I wish I had more time, Ron. I don't mean to be rude, but a lot of people are hanging on here.
In fact, Sean, we grew up listening to this kind of radio with Long John Neville. And
now, Long John. I grew up listening to Long John.
Yeah, so you and I were listening together. So
absolutely. So then how can you not understand what I do?
I understand, but...
no, you don't.
Isn't it rules and regulations, ABC policy, that you have to take a drug test when you enter these facilities? Yes. I just want him tested for psychotropic drugs. That's it. That's all I'm interested in.
Oh,
I have a feeling you have dropped some heavy acid.
Show me the way. Show me your last test results.
Let's go back to Frank in Brooklyn on WABC with Art Bell and Curtis Lee. Well, hello.
Yes, Art, first of all, you said you had an argument that this isn't the next millennium?
January 1st,
Look,
2001.
Technically, I suppose you're another millennium technocrat. I know it doesn't really begin until next year, technically, but you've lost the argument, my friend.
No, I didn't. Could I explain something to you? Now, there's a documentary. It was on in May, and it was on in November. It was a documentary on the Pope, okay? Now, the narrator or the commentator said that Lucius said that the world will return back to God before the end of the century. Okay, before the end of the millennium, which means before 2001. Now, I hope you would get that video or the audio and play it on your station.
So, in other words, you're saying the end, it cometh, but not for about a year.
The purification.
All right.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate the call. We will abandon trash in the lines today as a special courtesy to our good friend Art Bell. He does our overnights here on 77 WABC. Are you doing the show from the studio here, or?
Why do you call it trashing the lines?
Because that's what we do. We just go call to call, and, we just...
That's trashing the lines.
That's trash. Hey, by the way, now there's one question I got to ask you. You had a problem where you almost quit radio. Do you want to talk about it?
I just call it answering the phone.
We call just a phrase we came up with for a little bit we do. And I know you've spoken some about those matters. Are those matters resolved? Is there anything you want to talk about in the daytime? Because you're really just doing like 3 out of 5 days now, or 3 out of 6 days.
It's such a serious thing. I don't know if you want to get into it, but I'd be glad to give you some idea of what occurred. My son was attacked when he was 16 years of age by an HIV-positive school teacher, assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot has come from that, and some people made some statements that are resulting in lawsuits, and we're still going through all of that, and that's taking a very great deal of my time. My son is obviously trying to work through what happened to him. And so it's still a very difficult, ongoing situation without getting into.
I don't want you to say anything you don't want to say. I know you have commented on it.
Well, obviously,
I know a lot of people have been very concerned.
Here's what happened. It occurred when he was a minor. And I came back from South Africa. He was in an absolute crisis situation. I had to help him. I decided that was more important than radio, so I went off the air.
And you were serious? You did not think you were coming back?
I didn't think I'd be able to, no. And it's still touch and go with him right now, and so...
You're doing 3 days a week or 4 days a week?
Yeah, 3 or 4, depending.
Depending on what's going on in that situation. Any hope that it'll be resolved and you'll be back to 5 or 6?
There's always hope.
All right, we'll take a break. Our final moments with Art Bell coming up. Also, Curtis Lee was still here. We have some people who'll be demonstrating against you on the line coming up next. We're using Rush's lines today, 800-282-2882. Now, Curtis in with you at, Kubi in with you at 6?
Yes, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Curtis and Kubi here at 77 WABC. Our final moments coming up. It's the Sean Hannity Show on 77 WABC.
Hi, honey.
Hi, babe.
When are you coming home? I made your favorite.
Yeah?
Tuna casserole.
Oh, well, I just need to get someone to help us build a new corporate website, get some updated stationery, and talk to someone about redoing our network systems, phone systems, and paging network.
Okay, good.
And I need to get that 401k program and a new health insurance provider. Plus, we need to get an email marketing program on the way and find a business loan we need to stay solvent. Hire a marketing director, HR director, PR agency, and direct mail vendor. And I need a computer training specialist, plus a tax law attorney, business law attorney, and...
Working a little too hard? Onvia.com introduces its new request for quote service. With more helpful listings and yellow pages, you'll have thousands of national and local companies ready to give you customized quotes on anything you need to grow your small business.
Pick up some new office furniture, hire a consultant, and draw up a corporate identity logo.
I guess you'll be home at like 2 a.m.
Yes, 2 a.m. next Thursday.
Onvia.com. Work wisely.
The best is getting better at Condemi Motor Company. Buy the pre-owned vehicle of your choice at Condemi Motor Company and make your first payment in June of 2000. That's right. Buy now and pay in June of 2000. The Condemi Motor Company realizes that the average person is facing a lot of holiday bills. With this in mind, Condemi Motor Company wants to make buying a quality pre-owned vehicle easier by allowing you to buy a vehicle today and pay for it in June of 2000. Buy a quality pre-owned car, van, minivan, truck, or sports utility vehicle at Condemi and pay for it in June of 2000. All of Condemi Motor Company vehicles are fully inspected and reconditioned prior to sale. Every vehicle is sold with an up to 90-day buyback guarantee. And now, for a short time only, you can buy a vehicle and not make a payment until June of 2000. For more information and directions, call 973-777-2300. That's 973-777-2300.
WABC. Abigail Butler.
John Brady.
Jennifer Gordon.
These are all folks I've rescued. I'm a volunteer fireman.
Julie Kaufman.
The whole town counts on me to be strong, so I can't let muscle aches slow me down. That's why I take Advil. Absolutely nothing you can buy has been proven stronger on tough pain. The folks around here, like Andrew
and Gina Gregory,
they really depend on me. And I depend on Advil.
Advil, stronger than pain. Use as directed.
I used to drink ordinary hot cocoa like Carnation or Swiss Miss, but then I found something smooth and creamy.
Ovaltine, hot.
Creamy because it's made with milk, not water.
Ovaltine, hot.
It's chocolatey and it's good for me too.
Ovaltine, hot.
Now when I want something hot and chocolatey, it's not ordinary hot cocoa.
Ovaltine, hot.
It's Ovaltine, hot.
Drink Ovaltine, hot. Compare it to your hot cocoa and taste the difference.
Hi, William Shatner. Thousands of shoppers a day are logging onto Priceline.com and naming their own price for groceries, up to half off.
Priceline groceries? No brainer.
85 cents for ketchup. A big bottle. Heinz, Hunt's, Del Monte, whatever. It's the good stuff.
Frosted Flakes, cereals, $2. Let me tell you, for diapers, $8, not 13.
So we decided to try. Now, none of us would do anything else. You name it. Chicken, pork chops, paper towels, whatever.
Price line for groceries? It's awesome. You name your price. Some stuff is half off. You go online and it's just that simple.
Why would anyone pay shelf prices for anything anymore?
Who wouldn't do this? It won't be long before everyone's naming their own price for groceries at Priceline.com. Before your next grocery trip, log on to Priceline.com and name your own price for groceries. Up to half off. Priceline.
Sean Hannity for Flashcom. Listen, if you are tired of waiting to connect to the internet, if you're tired of waiting for your sites to download, here's the answer. You can stop waiting when you get DSL, Flashcom DSL. You'll access the internet up to 100 times faster than your current dial-up service. They use your existing phone line. You're always on. You never need to dial up again. You never get a busy signal. You never get a drop connection. And you can talk, you can surf, you can fax on the same line at the same time. It is unbelievable technology. If you're still using a dial-up modem, take my advice, dump it. Flashcom, they'll speed up your life, they'll save you money, and you move around the internet as fast as you click on your mouse. And they have a special offer for Sean Hannity Show listeners. Call their toll-free number, 1-877-FLASHCOM. Call right now, mention my name. They'll give you free installation, free equipment, and your first month's service absolutely free. This offer only available on certain plans, only available for a limited time if you mention my name. The toll-free number, 1-877-FLASHCOM. Get all the details you need. Check them out on the web, flashcom.com, 1-877-FLASHCOM.
Sean Hannity. News Talk Radio 77, WABC.
All right, we're going to forego trashing the lines today. Back to our regular schedule tomorrow. Art Bell is with us. You won't be in tonight because you're on this book tour this week. But Curtis will be in 10 to 1 tonight, and then Art Bell either rerun or somebody in for you tonight.
And it'll be a rerun. God knows what he's going to be doing on my rerun tonight. Listen, but there's a couple of things I want to say. One, a serious note with regard to everything that occurred to my son during the period of time when everybody had no idea what was going on with me. Bear in mind, my son was 16. He'd just been attacked. I couldn't possibly talk about what happened without hurting him severely psychologically. And so I didn't until it was made public by his own lawsuit against the school district. I kept my mouth shut.
And I respect you for that. Now, you're going to be on the Today program tomorrow. 7:50 is your scheduled time.
What they tell me.
And Wednesday, you'll be at Barnes & Noble at Rockefeller Center. Curtis Lee will, as I understand it, will be at both locations with fellow Guardian Angels protesting.
With his Guardian Angel, and I want some other counter-protesters to show up.
Yeah, well, this is his only public appearance. His only public appearance at the Barnes & Noble, 12:30 there at Rockefeller Center. We've all got to come out and show him that New York is not going to fold like a cheap camera like all the rest of the 49 states have folded for you, Art.
All right. Now, tonight at 9 on Hannity and Combs, we have our interview with Newt Gingrich that we will be airing. Alan Combs is off tonight. Bob Beckel, former host of CNN Weekend Crossfire, he'll be filling in for Alan. Now, let's go back to our phones. We have Bob checking in from Massachusetts on WABC. Bob, glad you called. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Curtis, I just wanted to let you know that I will be joining your demonstration against Art Bell at Rockefeller Center. And in matter of fact, I plan on leaving at 2 o'clock in the morning to get there for the morning demonstration at
and you'll be at both of them.
Why don't you like listen to the timbre of this voice? There's a great similarity to Curtis's.
Well, I just want.
Are you related to Curtis? Are you a brother?
I'm a brother in solidarity.
In solidarity.
Well, he comes from Chelsea, which is very much like Brooklyn, the equivalent of
Curtis.
Brooklyn to New York, Chelsea to Boston.
I see.
We're in solidarity against Art Bell.
John is next on WABC with Art Bell and Curtis Lee. Well, hello.
Hey, John.
Yeah, hi, Art. I'm one of your frequent callers here from the East Coast. Just like to make a quick point. I don't necessarily agree with everything I hear on your show. However, I appreciate the fact that you're dealing with subjects that most of the media won't touch. And I also think people like Curtis should remember that you frequently remind your listeners that they should not believe everything they hear, but should go out and try to find out for themselves.
I don't believe everything I hear on my show.
Appreciate the call. Greg in a car in Trenton on WABC with Art Bell. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, we's all right.
How you doing? You're a crackpot. I love you, but you're a crackpot.
Forget about it.
Okay, just listen to me. Remember something. Curtis is the king of New York. Don't mess with him. And you know what? If you get accosted by some crazy people, Curtis will help you out. On the other hand, I think you would let Curtis rot because you're a sick person. What are you gonna do?
Appreciate the call. George in a car. Quickly, George, you have 20 seconds.
Okay, all right, I just want to let you know, how can you base 150 years of weather records on, we've only been keeping weather records for 150 years, and you're basing that the weather we're having now...
We're not going to have a 150-year discussion in 10 seconds, so... Tomorrow.
Art Bell will be on the Today Show tomorrow, and Curtis will be protesting then at Barnes & Noble Rockefeller Center Wednesday. See you tonight at 9. Stay with us. Curtis and Kubi. Maybe they'll invite Art Bell to stay. Who knows? That's all coming up straight ahead right here on News Talk Radio 77 WABC. See you tomorrow right after Rush at 3.
This is the big one, the most listened to talk radio station in America.
WABC.
My greatest city in the world, 6 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Joan Bennett. Not so fast, says a Florida family court judge telling the INS that she wants 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez to stay in this country till a custody hearing in March. Judge Rosa Rodriguez ruled today that she has jurisdiction in the highly emotional custody battle. The boy's great-uncle wants temporary custody, and his lawyer, Jose Garcia Pedrosa, says he'll get his day in court.
Now, Lázaro González will have the opportunity to hire counsel, to present his case, to have the father present his case, and to have this matter ruled on by INS on the merits.
The judge wants the boy's Cuban father to attend a March 6th hearing in Miami. Immigration officials say their ruling to send Elian back to Cuba takes precedence over the Miami ruling. A marriage of old and new media. Steve Case, chairman of America Online, says the proposed merger between AOL and Time Warner for $166 billion in stock could change the future for the better.
This really is a historic moment, a time when we transform the landscape of media and communications.
If shareholders and regulators approve the deal, the merger would add CNN and HBO, Time, People, and Sports Illustrated magazines to AOL's repertoire. Investors rallied behind the big merger. The Nasdaq soared 167 points, its largest single-day point gain ever. The Dow up nearly 50 points. Time Warner shares were up by $27, about 42%, while AOL lost nearly 3 points. A memorial service today at the U.S. Naval Academy for Admiral Elmo Zumwalt.
Beyond his physical courage, Bud Zumwalt stood out for his moral courage and for saying what he thought was right, regardless of the consequences.
You're listening to ABC News.
WABC News Talk Time, 6:02. We've got 50 degrees right now. I'm George Weber. Your mayor is a madman, as in angry. Mayor Giuliani ripping the New York City School Board's pick for interim chancellor. The mayor isn't so keen on Harold Levy.
The appointment represents a real step backwards. There's no question it's a step back to having political control and union control over the board.
Oh, and Hillary Clinton surprising folks today by saying she thinks big city mayors should run schools, but she cautioned the only exception should be Rudy Giuliani.
Well, George, I'll tell you.
You're on the wrong mic there for some reason. There you go. That's...
We better?
Yes.
Yes, a little Art Bell
There you go.
chaos still reverberating through the studio here.